Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. Let me just try to autofocus this a little here. Yeah, all right, well, that's better. Whatever. But yes, it's a winter wonderland here. I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote and the Lego emote and the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw those things in there as well if you'd like to. I want to thank Harold for not only hosting the stream, but renewing 25 months. Tier 1. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. For your renewal. But yeah, hello everybody. This is a Wednesday night build stream. I am streaming tomorrow, which is also going to be a build stream on Thursday. I'm finally back to Thursdays after a long break of Thursdays. We're back in it. Lord Crashnet is here. Hi, Lord Crashnet. So we're going to wait, see if a few more folks want to join us before we get to the building portion. People have been coming a little later, and then it does perk up, and that's good. But, I want to get a few folks in before we get going. Thank you all so much for being here. As you can see, I have changed my background image to a Christmas tree. That is, it's a decorated outside. But that's fun. I got my Santa hat going here, which will hopefully not be in the way and be fine with the green screen. I don't remember if it works well or not. The white might not be great for it, but we'll see. I just thought it would be fun and festive. We'll talk about it during the build portion. At some point, I may have to apply Oragel or something. I did get some dental work done today. The swelling has gone down. The Novocaine is wearing off, so I'm not drooling or anything. I did forget my water. I will have to go get a water, so I will take an actual break at 10 p.m. to go get my water bottle because I did forget that, and I want to have that. Oh, good. Color came in good. I do want to have that at 10 when we take a break and do the pause for the cause because I did forget my water bottle. But yeah, I'm not going to drool all over the place, so that's nice. But yeah, we'll hopefully get a few more folks joining us as we finish up the Zaku 2 FZ, which you can see some of it right here. We'll look at the overhead, but I do want to make note that it does have an eyeball. You can definitely still see the eyeball, even if you can't really see what's going on because of it being green. If you watch the stream on Monday, you may remember that I completely dropped the white piece in there that the eye was going to go on. So what I ended up doing was, because I couldn't find it, what I ended up finding was I just took the runner. It was a clear runner, any runner like this, only it was clear. Took the runner and then just clipped a piece that looked about what the size was and used some blue tack to tack it in place and then put the sticker on. If you look very, very closely when we get to the overhead, we'll go to the overhead now. We're not ready to build yet, but we can go to the overhead. If you look really closely, you might be able to see a little bit of blue inside. I can see a little bit of blue tack in there, but it doesn't look odd, and so I'm not worried about it. I still think that looks just fine. But yeah, we got some building to do. We're going to finish up the Zaku 2 FZ. We do have, this was sent in by Ray, so we do have the Ox King's vehicle, which is Dragon Ball kit. That they made several of these the mech collection. We've done a bunch of these already on stream. They're very quick, easy builds. I do know that somebody from my wish list did purchase another one. It has not arrived yet, but I could see on the wish list that someone did pick that up. Let's see, which one is that that's coming? Purchased. Yes, somebody picked up Oolong's Road Buggy, so that's coming. And I'll build that when it gets here. But we're getting close to almost being done with all of them. There's only one that has not been purchased yet, which is of course Yamcha's Mighty Mouse, which is Yamcha's Roadster. It's called Mighty Mouse. I don't know why it's called Mighty Mouse, but of course Yamcha is last man standing, last odd man out, last one. But hopefully it'll get picked up soon. Yeah, I'm excited to do this build stream with you tonight. Like I said, I should have gotten a water, and I will take a break and go get water at some point. I really goofed on that one. That's me messing up. But I'm hoping a few more folks join us. Obviously, for a while there, Wednesday night has been just another normal night for us. It has been instead of Thursdays. We will be streaming tomorrow, doing another build stream, and then on Sunday, a rare Sunday stream, 3 p.m. till 5 p.m., but maybe done a little sooner. 3 p.m. Eastern. It's an afternoon singing stream. I'm going to be singing some songs because I haven't done a Twitch Sings in a while. I'm looking forward to doing that. As I said, it has been a bit since I did that, so I figured, why the heck not? Let's do that, and then I will be able to get a singing stream in, since I'm doing a build stream tonight and a build stream tomorrow. Because Saturday I am at PAX Unplugged, which should be very fun. I did want to say this before we get into the building portion. I do want to point out that Harold got by Harold's resubbing now on 20-month streak, which is awesome. Emotes were gifted, holiday emotes. That's if you renew a subscription, start a new subscription, gift a sub, or cheer for over 300 bits. You gift some holiday-themed emotes, which will be available, I guess, during the holidays. I think it's January 3rd, they said. So that's fun. That reading about that and seeing that today when I was watching a stream kind of got me in the mood to, find the hat and change the background image and kind of get into it. Because I think that's fun. Yeah. But, okay. All right, let's get going. Let's get building. You know what? If tonight's a light night, tonight's a light night. If people come in, I'm happy about that. If it's a very chill stream for nobody, that's okay. I got a new emote thanks to Harold. Did somebody say cheer for under 300 bits? Yes, Harold, thank you for cheering 301 bits. Very much appreciated, my friend. And that, and then I did get a new, reward, which is fun. So now I have, these two new emotes. That's fun. Thank you, Harold. It is appreciated. All right, so we did that. We did this. So we're working on our legs here. It's leg day here for the Zaku 2. But yeah, I appreciate the bits and coins, as always, are appreciated and will be put to good use, which is getting me more money to then buy model kits and such in the middle of the month. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm a little loopy today. I apologize. I did have, I had dental surgery today. It happens, y'all. Positive vibes. My dentist was there. Everything went okay. The removal of my tooth went okay. That went good. Swelling went down because I got it done early enough. So that was good, because it was like a moment where I was like, I wonder if I'm going to be able to stream and people understand what I'm saying. Or if I'll be in pain. Once the Novocaine wears off, am I going to have to take medication, not necessarily for the pain that the tooth was causing, but for, just having surgery and having my jaw open wide and all that stuff. Like, am I going to be okay? All signs point to yes, things are good, and I'm feeling all right. So that's nice. But my card didn't swipe right the first time. I made the smart decision. This is a very smart decision, that I went and double-checked that my Care Credit was still working. For those who don't know, Care Credit is basically a credit card that is for medical use only. It is easy to get comparatively. And it is just for medical use. And if you pay back within a year, you are not paying interest. And then beyond that, there's different terms, and it's a whole thing, and it's a lot. I haven't used my care credit in a while, in a couple years. So, because I had good health insurance for a bit there. Good to hear that you got that tooth taken care of. Thank you, Ultron. Thanks for being in the chat, Ultron. Thanks for being here. So I went and made sure that everything is going to be okay, so that it's scanned, because I do not have health insurance right now. So I was like, let me make sure I have health insurance, or I have care credit works, before I get this done. Because they have payment plans at the place, but I still want to make sure that I'm going to be okay. And everything looked good. I was still at an account and blah blah blah, and they were like, oh, do you want pay out whatever, and we can auto, and was like, no, send me a bill. I want to figure out, because some months I want to send more than others. I want to start with a good amount and then do the minimum at least once to balance those things out. That kind of thing. Those decisions you make when it comes to those things. Because also, I forget when my Amazon Prime. I forget when my Amazon Prime is due. But that, I think, is this month, and I can't remember. I literally can't remember when my. I just realized I'm literally looking it up right now, because I know that that always sneaks up on me, because suddenly I'm just that's just a bunch of money that I just was like, oh, I don't have this where did that money go? Oh yeah, Amazon. I forgot. I pay for that a year instead of a month. This is why I'm glad I looked. That's coming up. It is literally coming up next week. So that is good that I noticed that. But yeah, so whatever. So everything looked good. Everything looked great as far as having that taken care of, and being able to pay my bills and all that. And I got my antibiotics and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, this will all be good. So I get the stuff done, and I'm going to go whatever, and they're like, okay, well, it's going to be this, and this amount is covered by care credit. This is the amount you owe now. This is the payment plan for that, blah, 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 blah. It's like, great. Cool. So we're just going to run your care credit card. And it didn't work. And it's that moment where you're like, is this a mistake right now? Or is this a problem? Is this a goof or a problem? But no problem at all. Give me a second. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, we ran it wrong. Okay. And it was that sigh of relief of just oh, this is good. Okay, great. So everything's okay. It ran. No problem. I'm going to get a bill in January for it. Blah, 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 blah. So happy to hear that, because it was that moment where I was like, I really need to have that get paid from not me right now. So we'll see how everything works out. But right now, at the moment, things are good. Things with as far as that goes. And like I said, I'm a little loopy tonight because of the dental work, but shouldn't affect the stream too much. Should be just fine and dandy. I'm going to get some sleep tonight, and that'll be good. And hopefully I am done taking pain relief medication, and we can just nip that in the bud and then move on with our lives. And then I, of course, have to get this hole in my mouth filled at some point. But that's a later Pat problem. It's not an immediate Pat problem. Immediate Pat problem has been solved. Later Pat can deal with that particular issue. Current Pat is just happy to hopefully not be in pain, other than the pain of, all of this. We'll see. It's a whole thing. I hope you're doing well tonight out there on the internet. I'm doing all right. Um, I'm very much looking forward to Saturday. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you got your tooth issue solved. Thank you, Harold. I appreciate that. I am as well. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturday. PAX Unplugged. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun with capital F. Just down there for the day. Got a panel at 6 o'clock. Going to film that. Going to put that up on YouTube. I'll probably put it up on Monday. So next Monday, people will be able to enjoy that. That's the plan. Um, okay, so let's get into this now. So obviously in the 10 o'clock hour, because it's the Pat Baer, it's the Build with Bear Workshop, it's my stream. It's we talk about things I want to talk about. Yeah, we're gonna talk about current anime stuff, right? That is gonna happen. That's what we do here. That's one of the things we do here. But right now, let's talk about maybe you out there, as I kind of like talk through it. I'm prepping for my next video. Any thoughts on NASCAR? Kyle Busch briefly becoming WWE 24/7 champion. So, Harold, yeah, okay, I can get into that. I have not a larger thing. I have a topical thing to talk about that is about anime and is about the series Pat Baer's Anime Club that I talk about. But I can briefly chat about that. So, if you're not familiar, the 24/7 championship is literally a title that can change hands anywhere, anytime. And it does not have to be a televised event. It does not have to be in a ring. All you need is a referee. It is an intergender title. In the purposes for WWE, that men and women, because there are there are currently 0 non-binary wrestlers in the WWE. But a non-binary person could certainly win it as well. There's no stigma about that particularly. I'm having a little issues getting this piece to pop in, but we'll get that going in a second. And so what's happened a lot is it's a lot of the people that don't really have a lot going on WWE have been champions. Some people that have been a pregnant woman was champion very briefly, which was pretty great. She is the only pregnant WWE champion ever. That was kind of neat. Pat Patterson, who is a retired Hall of Famer, won very briefly. That was fun. It is bounced around over the course of the night. Someone won it on an airplane. Someone won it interrupting somebody's marriage. Somebody won it on a golf cart. They did a whole video of the raid style, like running through a building, defending the title kind of thing. They've done some interesting things with it. The reveal of different people wearing a referee jersey and being a referee has been very fun as well. It's been pretty good. But sometimes it is silly. And having a NASCAR driver win it, or like a musician or a retired wrestler, anything like that, it adds like notoriety and like makes the papers or whatever, or gets on the news feeds in the local whatever. But it does diminish things a little bit, because there are, and while this is not a serious title, there are very good wrestlers who compete for that belt who are being underutilized in the WWE and are probably not going to win that title for even a minute. And so for them to have a non-wrestler win it, it's not as disrespectful as other times that the business has done this. And to be fair, to be very clear, the wrestling business in general, and WWE in particular, love it when people like wrestling. Not fans, when people that you know and like wrestling. Like Bobby Moynihan being in the front row because he was on a movie set with John Cena and really liked it. And he's always been a wrestling fan, but Cena hooked him up with like good seats. Oh, they love that. When musicians like wrestling, oh, they love that. When MMA stars want to become wrestlers, they fucking love it. Oh, they love it. So when someone says like, maybe he gets approached and he goes, "Oh, this would be a thing. We're gonna have you do that," or I don't know. You don't like Kyle Busch, but I do like the crossover. Yeah. You wish it were a different driver. That makes sense, Harold. Yeah, that's gonna work, differently for different people, right? Like, there are people who are associated with the brand that they bend over backwards to help out or to promote. That I'm like, that's not a good person. I wish that it wasn't. I don't know. I do not know Kyle. I cannot speak to him as a person or as a performer. I can only speak to him as a former WWE champion. It's weird. It's a weird thing. But he's an ass. Well, then that sucks, right? I wish that someone cool had won it. But maybe somebody cool would be like, I shouldn't win it. This is a great time to talk about a thing that just recently happened. So, if y'all might not know this, you might know this. WCW was involved in producing a movie years ago about guys that loved wrestling becoming wrestlers. And David Arquette starred in that movie. And as a way to promote that movie, David Arquette won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. He didn't want to do it in real life. Outside of kayfabe, he did not want to do it. He said that it would be disrespectful and fans would hate it, and it didn't make any sense, and it wasn't a good idea. But people talked him into it, and they really wanted it. And it did make the papers. It made the press. It was a big deal, but it also was a sour note. And the nice thing is that David Arquette is a class act in that he not only was he honest, he's like, I shouldn't have won this. I shouldn't be here. He started saying, like, there are people in the back that deserve this opportunity, because he didn't know this when he was talking in the back. He ran into Booker T, and he was like, Booker, how many times have you won the title? And he says, I've never even wrestled for the title. So David Arquette says on television, people like Booker T should have this title, not people like me. Which was possibly a rub that Booker T desperately needed with certain people who didn't see him as world championship material. Through his own wrestling ability, which was top-notch, his ability to connect with the fans, which was there, the fact that he had been a tag team specialist but had broken out on his own, or the fact that predominantly in wrestling, black people had not been world champion. And WCW had broken the mold, certainly, but hadn't really followed through after they broke the mold with Ron Simmons winning the world title. They hadn't really followed up on that. And I don't know if a lot of people saw Booker T as world championship material at the time, outside of the fans who loved him. So, and then David Arquette has also gone out of his way to promote wrestling on his spare time. He's done indie dates. He's taken some pretty abusive, some pretty heinous bumps recently, which he should not be doing. The 3-tiered cage match look wrestling. Yeah, it was good nonsense. It was dangerous, and not dangerous in a like exciting way. Dangerous in a like, oh no, did they think about what they're doing right now way. But yeah, the fact that it was a tag match and whoever made the pin, and he made the pin and he became world champion, and then of course he turned heel on Diamond Dallas Page because you gotta. But also the fans were booing him anyway, so they might as well be booing him for being a bad guy and not booing him for being part of a bad angle. I'm having a real trouble with this kit. I'm wondering if am I doing something wrong? Trying to get this part here, because I know it obviously goes up in this. That I know. And then I think it's just supposed to connect like this here, and then it should just snap on, right? This should be very simple, and it's not. I'm having an issue here where this is just not right. So let me actually take this off, and let me pop this out and see if it totally exists the possibility that I just did this part wrong. So we'll look at that. We'll look at that. Okay. That looks all right. That looks all right. And then we've got to do this like this. And then this goes in here. And I may have put this on wrong. Which could be why things aren't working right. Okay, so we'll try this way here. We'll see if that was the problem. We'll see. But yeah, so celebrities winning matches, celebrities winning titles, these things have happened. Celebrities have come through. To me, the more important thing is that one, if you are someone in the world of acting or music or whatever, or NASCAR, and you love an aspect of the business. You love wrestling. You've always been a wrestling fan. You're a diehard fan. You're an athletic person like Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell, like the Arrow, loves wrestling. And he was psyched to work with Cody Rhodes. And he wanted to do a good job. He wanted to be respectful of the business. Karl Malone, the mailman. When people think about interactions with the NWO and WCW and the celebrity, they think of Jay Leno, which is terrible, and they think of Dennis Rodman, who was like a good promo person, but never ever, and was honest about it. Never considered himself to ever think he was ever going to wrestle. Didn't have any interest in that part. But Karl Malone approached like Diamond Dallas Page. Like he did the Diamond Cutter like at NBA games and was just like, yeah, I'm a big Diamond Dallas Page fan. I'd love to work in some way. Like it wasn't they approached him. He approached them of like, hey, I'm a big guy and I love wrestling. I'm also Karl Malone. Could I like do stuff with y'all? Which I think is great. Wrestling companies love to remind people that celebrities also love wrestling. Yes, Lord Crashington. One of my favorite celebrities who got involved in wrestling, he wasn't even super involved in it, is Wade Boggs. I love this. I love it. So Wade Boggs got approached to do something with Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect's gimmick was that he was great at everything. He was Mr. Perfect. So that also meant that he could pitch and hit a baseball. Because why couldn't he? He was Mr. Perfect. So he did some promo with Wade Boggs, like some kind of video thing for WWF or WWE, and apparently Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and Wade Boggs hit it off, and they were just like, we are friends now. And they went hunting, and they had a good old time. And Wade Boggs, who had liked wrestling, grew up with it, but wasn't like the biggest wrestling fan his whole life, started hanging out with wrestlers. And you didn't really see him on performing too much. He didn't make a lot of appearances on wrestling shows. He just became a guy that hung out with wrestlers. And it is possible, apocalyptic, but within the NWO, there became a group that called themselves the Wolfpack. Wade Boggs claims that that was the nickname that his friend group had. That somebody used it in in wrestling in the NWO was that that his crew was the Wolfpack, and they borrowed that, which I don't know if that's true or not, but it is fascinating, and I've always really enjoyed that. Like, just be like, yeah, Wade Boggs just thought that Kurt Hennig was a good dude and liked hanging out with him. Just like makes me happy to think about. I don't know. I like that. But yes, Lord Crashington makes an excellent point that all wrestling companies just want to be accepted. They just want pop culture. They just want like whatever they can get as far as goodwill and all of that. They just want to be recognized as being cool and good, which I understand. I get it. I mean, comedians want to be musicians. Musicians want to be actors. Actors want to be comedians and musicians. And, pro athletes want to be wrestlers. Wrestlers want to be pro athletes. Like it's all the thing. Actors want to be MMA fighters. It's all that stuff. All that stuff is there. And it is what it is. And sometimes it's very odd. But one thing I did, especially to avoid the icky stuff. Yes, Lord Crashington. Sometimes it is just another attempt to make money. Often it is a distraction from some of the seedier elements of that business and industry. Is to be like, hey, look over here. Here's a feel-good story. Hey, look over here. Here's a cool person. Oh, did you know that this person likes wrestling? Let's talk about that for a while. Please, 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 please. Let's talk about that for a while. But to change the subject completely, I want to know from y'all. I want to hear from you all about this, okay? This is important stuff. Not really, but maybe it is. When you watch a video on YouTube and it's somebody talking, maybe it's a person, you can see him like you can see me, talking head. Maybe it's a video with a bunch of images and video and just a voiceover. Either way, do you like hearing lightly music underneath? The bed of music that plays underneath videos. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you not notice it either way? Do you sometimes realize, oh, there was music playing? Like when the video ends, you suddenly realize that part of the silence was the video. I'm always interested in that because I don't think I care either way, but I'm trying to, figure this stuff out. I'm specifically talking about in the context of Pat Baer's Anime Club, because this week's video, I should see how that's doing, is the first video that I've done with music, like a bed of music underneath. So I want to see. I'm just going to actually, it's been 2 days. We can see how those numbers are. Not bad. Not bad for views. Not great, but not bad. Decent. Better than the last one, so that's good. Okay. But I want to know what you think. Because I'm going to be shooting tomorrow. I'm going to be shooting my next video in it. And, I'll have time to edit, and I can always just add, I'm not doing the music live. I edit it after the fact, but I am wondering if that's something that like people look forward to or hate or whatever. Because like I said, I could take it or leave it. I don't really have a super strong opinion on it, but I'm wondering. Like I'm going to do my next video is going to be about Christmas stuff in anime. And I've got a few. Let's see. I've got like a couple ones that I think are really fun. Like the Polar Bear Cafe is just a fun episode. Azumagadayo is a really fun one. Laid Back Camp is a great one. It also is important to the story. Today's Menu for Emiya Family is just like a fun one. Kimi no Todoke is a wonderful example of the show. It and fits so well with the theme, and is also like a little heartbreaking. There's a series about Santa Claus I may or may not talk about, or a person named Santa Claus. The Pokemon episode, because I don't want to talk about it, but like it's important to talk about it. Talk about Jinx. And then yeah, so I'm like thinking about it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna put a bit of music on it. Ultron says, I'm fine with music as long as it doesn't compete with the person talking. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's like, well, you want to make sure that it's low enough and underneath and like pauses in talking. Maybe it'll sound a little louder because I'm not talking. But is that something that like should I even be worrying about it? But then I'm talking for 30 minutes, so should I be worrying about it? Like maybe I do need to like think about that as a thing that I need to be paying attention to, because maybe people expect it. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure when it comes to that. Like, I don't know. It's new. Doing this kind of video is new, because I've also had people being like, "Oh, I'm surprised you don't have more like images and video stuff, like it's or clips or gifs. It's a lot of just like you talking." And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do with it. Like I wanted to be a place for me to have longer conversations about anime. That's kind of the idea, was to find a place to have that conversation, like a spot for that. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I haven't come to like a strong conclusion either way about what I'm going to do with it. But I know that when I record tomorrow, like I'll have time to edit. I mostly just know that I have time tomorrow and want to take advantage of the fact that I have a good amount of time tomorrow to like do something productive. Because I do not have work tomorrow. I just have the stream. So since I don't have any work tomorrow, I want to like at least shoot a video. My goal tomorrow is to do that, and then I have like a write up to do for a thing. So I'm gonna try to bang that out tomorrow. At the very least, like most of it, and then kind of edit and figure things out, and then promote my panel. That's kind of the other plan for during the day tomorrow. Put some stuff out for that. Try to get more names of fake tabletop and card game names for the panel, because I'm a little light on those. I'll probably come up with some anyway for the lightning round. I usually think of a few for the lightning round on my own anyway. Mix them in with other people's. But yeah, I am excited for that. That should be fun. I need this. Here it is. But yeah, I mean, if anybody has strong opinions on music playing underneath, if it's distracting or whatever, I'm trying it. I don't know. I'm still not sure if I like it. Listening to the one that came out this week, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of don't. I don't hate it. I certainly don't hate it, but I'm not sure if I love it. We'll see. In the second hour, I will talk about an anime that I watched today that featured that was holiday themed, had some Christmas elements to it. It's not going to make my conversation because it was fine, but it wasn't like incredible. And the other one that like I don't know if I want to like. I didn't realize it became like a cult thing, but like apparently people like when I googled like holiday, like Christmas anime episodes, a lot of people remember the OVA, the Christmas OVA for Love Hina. Apparently, like that one, like hit people really hard, and they really remember it. And I was like, I don't remember that episode being particularly great. It was another like miscommunication. Like it was a good example of the series, but I was like, I don't remember that one being like, this is the best episode of this show. Apparently, it's hit people really hard. Uh, oh, I should put in Fairy Tale, the Fairy Tale one. I'm going to write that down in my notes about Fairy Tale. I believe that's an OVA. Yes, it's an OVA because people get quote unquote naked. But it's one of the it is the trope of people drinking, which they play up a bunch in Fairy Tale, but the idea of like these ladies are drinking and the guys haven't been drinking, and then like things get wild and out of control, and there's pairing references that don't pay off for years later because it's an OVA, so who cares? But I remember it being kind of fun. So maybe I'll chat about that one. I gotta remember it. It's been a while. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all I really wanted to say about that particular topic. I was just trying to think about, like I said, I guess thinking a larger conversation about that. Like, I'm still in the process of trying to figure out like what it means to be a person that makes videos specifically for YouTube, right? Like trying to experiment. I have been wondering to myself. I recorded 4 in a row, so I have December done, and I have to do the first week of January. And then when I finish the first week of January, I will be technically done with background and characters. So I've done it for a year. So the question is, well, do I keep doing it for another year? Do I change it? How would I change it? Or do I replace it with something else? I don't know. I think about the video stuff that I've done and kind of retired, and it's like, I don't know if any of those things, like, do I bring anything back? Is there something like Pat Baer's Anime Club was kind of the thing that I was interested in doing because, like, I felt that Closer Look had run its course. They weren't necessarily popular. I was kind of running out of things I wanted to look at, and in the course of a Closer Look, so I was like, I think I'm gonna be done with these. And I was trying to do it every 2 weeks, didn't feel right, which is why Pat Baer's Anime Club came up as a thing I wanted to start doing, and it's I want to have some YouTube stuff that I do that isn't dependent on me streaming. That's always what it's been. I was starting to do the like Let's Plays, and I'm like, and so I wonder like, whoa, is there a Let's Play out there for me? But why, if I'm going to do a Let's Play, why am I not streaming a Let's Play? Because how hard am I going to be editing this fellow? So like, okay, well then, all right, I don't know. Because I've thought about like maybe it's time for Pat Baer to speed runs. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's time for maybe learning a speed run. Would that be an interesting YouTube series? Or is it time for me to try a Nuzlocke run? I don't know if my heart could take a Nuzlocke run. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I haven't really come up with decisions. I know what I like doing, and I know what I know that right now, background and characters is still fun for me. I still look forward to it, and now, especially since I started doing like a bunch in a row, I actually feel like I'm warming up. Peek behind the curtain. not really that much of a peek. I've talked about this before. So background of characters, if you don't know, that is a weekly thing that I do. A new one went up today. I'll link to it in the show description and in the chat when the time comes. It is a weekly show that I do where I just grab an image off the internet that kind of appeals to me, and then I improvise a character based on that image. And I used to just do one every Wednesday, or every Thursday. I would do the next following Wednesday's one. So when I set up for Thursday, because that was the day I had off from work when I worked at UCB, that was the day I had off. And that was the day that I would generally be home and just getting set up for a stream and have plenty of time to get stuff done. So then I often would just be like, okay, well, I have this time. I'll just get this done. That'll be easy. But what ended up happening was, like, now I'm busier during the day. So on Thursdays, I didn't really have time to do it. So if I found myself with time on, like, a Monday or a Saturday when I had the green screen up, I was just like, oh, I'll record like 4 of these in a row. So I started doing that the past 2 months, and it actually has been really beneficial because I think that as they go, like, I'm warmed up a little bit, my comedy muscles are going a little bit, my mind's racing a little faster, and especially doing them on Saturday, like if I've worked during the day, I'm feeling a little like more like relaxed and a little looser. So originally I was wondering if that was going to be the end of the series, if I was going to wrap things up at the end of a year. But I kind of rejuvenated a bit. I'm thinking about, like, oh, the end of December, when I get back from visiting my folks, I should just, do 4. And just like once a month I do them, edit them, put them up, and they're just up, ready to go. Like, that feels sustainable and also, like, I think better. It just feels good. So I think I'm going to keep doing them. You know, look, nothing I do on YouTube is big, right? The only thing that's big is sometimes, depending on the people or if there's an incident in it, improvised postmortem, like, some of the improvised postmortems have thousands of views. That's incredible. I don't take that for granted. That's unbelievable that those videos do as well as they do. But that is one, like, this past one at PAX West this year didn't hit that. PAX West was, I think, a couple thousand. So nowhere near. This PAX Unplugged, maybe the Loading Ready Run folks will put some light on if I get a reblog or something for somebody. Like, maybe some people will watch it. It'll just track some random way. But I'm not expecting it to. So I'm not expecting it to be, like, huge. And everything else I do, like, 20 people watch a video, that feels pretty good for me. That's nothing, but that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to YouTube content. Like, okay. Pat Baer's Anime Club, the first one, has, like, the most views of any of them. And that's because it's a new series, and I think the algorithm hit right, and my tags hit right. But that doesn't necessarily translate into a bunch of people are going to be watching this and all that. So I don't know. It's not a numbers game necessarily. I mean, it is because it's the internet, and you want to have people watch your stuff and all that. Like, I do want people to watch the things I make, and I do want to hit larger audiences, and I want to, but, like, honestly, Pat Baer's Anime Club in particular is, one, I wanted a place to kind of have some longer form conversations and to put some more thought into some of the stuff that I want to talk about. And two, I kind of wanted, like, I want to get used to having those conversations, doing those things. I want to do interviews at some point. There's no reason. Pat Baer's Anime Club right now is me talking in front of a green screen with some images about a topic. That's only because that's what I've been doing with it. And in my mind, that is a fluid show that as long as it's about anime, I can talk about whatever I want with it, whenever I want about it, and just grow it and build it out. Like that's the plan, is that I'll be able to do interviews or this month's Pat Bear's Anime Club is I'm at an anime convention and I took a bunch of video of stuff, or I submitted a panel for PAX East. I've submitted Pat Bear's Anime Club, yelling about the shows we like. That is the idea, is that it is going to be myself and other people, if it gets approved, yelling at the audience about anime that we think is awesome, that we think the audience should be watching. And having a playful conversation and confrontation. Let's say, not conversation, confrontation. Have a great night, Harold. Hope you have a good one. I will see you another time. Thank you for resubbing. Thank you for the bits. Always appreciated, my friend. Take it easy. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's I kind of made the decision that this show is whatever I want it to be, as long as it's about anime. And I think it'll be whatever it kind of wants to be until I don't want to do it anymore. But, that's the hope, is that it can be like a panel show that I do with guests around a theme. And perhaps something I can do outside of PAX. I could submit it to other conventions with the idea that, like, oh, hey, I have this YouTube thing, and I'm going to have these guests, and we're going to do this thing, and here's the topic. Like, I could do I have a topic for depends on the convention, but I have a show in me that I think will hit pretty hard that I want to do at some point pretty soon. That is basically what was the idea? It was in my head, and it is popped out of my head. I had it, and it popped out. I've had the idea of doing a show that is, or an episode of Pepper's Anime Club that it would be a panel, would be anime didn't make me queer, but it certainly didn't hurt, which I just think is would be a very fun panel, depending on what show, what convention I'm at. I think would hit really hard and really speak to the audience. That is the thing that I've wanted to do. That feels like a panel for FlameCon or something. We'll see. But yeah, I very much enjoy at the moment making that show, and I still like doing background characters. As I said, I found kind of new life with background characters, and some of the fun in it. So that's been good. And I'm just gonna try to keep it on when it comes to the stuff I like to do. All right, this is tiny, so I want to be careful with this tiny red piece here. Put that in nice and easy to D125. D125. We are almost done with our legs here, and then it's going to be time for our waist. But really what it's going to be time for is a pause for the cause in just a moment or two. Firstly, I will finish this off, and then I will go to the pre-show image for a moment or two while I go and get the water that I am desperately in need of, because I did not grab it ahead of time. So it's almost Pat Bear Go Gets Water time. And then it will be Pat Bear talks about ways you can support the stream if that's something you like to do. Won't take long. I don't have to go very far to get that water, but I do have to, at some point, very soon, go get that water. Let me finish this off first. Very small little pieces here. This kit has been mostly good-sized pieces, not had to really use tools. Of course, I did have my issue with the head of it that I had to fix, but other than that, this has been very straightforward kit. and good pieces for an RE100. But yeah, some of these little accents here, some of these rockets are a little tiny. And then it's going to go like this. All right. That's done. Our legs are done. Okay. So, real quick. So you were able to find the headpiece. So, no, actually, Ultron. I'll talk about that right now. So what I ended up doing was I just took the so there was a small little tree that was just for the two clear pieces, the clear screen and then the clear eyepiece. So I ended up just clipping. I just ended up going like snapping a little bit of this off, just what I needed, and then I blue tacked. Then I put the sticker on, and then I blue tacked it inside the helmet. So really up close, if you really looked at it, if you get a really good light on it, you can see a little bit of blue. What I also can do is later is once everything's dried, I can pop the helmet off and scrape away the blue around the sticker. But yeah, so I wasn't able to find that headpiece, but I did make it work because it is not an exterior color back. It was not an exterior piece. It was just an interior piece, so it doesn't look bad at all. The sticker was the important thing. I could have done it even with another color if I really wanted to. Anyway, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to put the image up here real quick. I'm going to go get water because I need it. So I'll be back in 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm going to be coming up right now. Hello. Sorry about that. Sorry about the little break there. I guess I could have run an ad, but I said I don't run ads during the thing, only at top and bottom. So, Ultron, good. Drink some water. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah, needed that. As I said, had some surgery today, so swelling has come down. No pain yet, but I am expecting there to be some discomfort tonight. So far anyway, we've been good. Anyway, this is the pause for the cause. We're going to get back to building in just a moment or two, but I do want to, take a moment. Hey, first and foremost, I want to say that Asmo917, friend of the stream, is going to be doing an extra life. I'm going to mention that in the show description. A link to their blog post on Giant Bomb that has information about that. Actually, I'll just do the extra life link. But yeah, that's Matt, who is a longtime supporter here. Asmo, you may recognize the name. I'll put the link here in chat. That's Asmo is doing an extra life on Saturday. I will not be available to watch it, unfortunately, because I will be at PAX. But if you're available, check out Asmo. Asmo is a longtime supporter of the stream, and very happy to be able to mention that for Asmo. I'm going to look up the Streamlabs commands. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, right now I'm just going to list a bunch of ways that you can support the stream. And they're in the show description, so you can check that out. But I'm also going to mention those right here, right now, just because. Real quick. If you haven't become a subscriber, consider becoming a subscriber. Or at the very least, make sure you're following me and turning notifications on so you know when I go live. It does mean a lot to me. My Patreon, it's early in the month. It's a great time to get in on Patreon. You get videos early. You get a monthly Q&A that no one else sees. That's how to get into my Patreon. That is a huge way to support me, and it means a lot, and I appreciate that. I have a Amazon wish list. You could jump into that wish list and pick something up there, and it'll get sent to me, and I'll build it on stream. Um, which is a great way to support the stream. As I said, the next thing we're building after the Zaku is we are doing a little kit here. The Ox King's car. It's like a hover car from Dragon Ball that was purchased on my wish list. Got a bunch of stuff on this wish list. Things to put out, some Lego sets that are still on sale. There's a bunch of good stuff. The RE100 Vignagina 2 went back up in price. It was on sale. It's back up to its normal price of $35. It's still a great kit that I would love to build. I got a desk scythe that I bought. Hey, do I want to build that desk scythe immediately? Of course I do. Will I wait if you buy a kit on Amazon? Yes. Hello, Mr. Bob. Welcome. Happy to have you, Mr. Bob. I'm just doing my pause for the cause. Then we'll get back to building this Zaku 2 FZ. Happy to have you here, Mr. Bob. You can also get a gift card at USA Gundam Store and then send me that code in a whisper. This is the War in the Pocket. Yes, this is the FC from War in the Pocket. The Gundam 2, the Forest and Dark Green. It is a great RE100. A couple tiny little pieces. One of the things the best about it, this is rubber. All of the this brown tubing there is rubber, and I just think that's very nice. But yeah, one sticker. This is a good, other stuff. But yeah, this is a good kit. I'm enjoying it. Donate. If you want to donate, I will use that money. Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, I should say. Any donations go to me buying kits and equipment. Make sure that you have resubscribed if you like to do that. If you use Twitch Prime, you have to manually resubscribe. If you're a regular subscriber and your time has time to renew, put something in there, especially between now and January 3rd. Yeah, throw the Baer Cave emote, the Lego emote, the Scythe emote if you're a tier 2. Because every time you subscribe to a channel or, oops, oh no, my mouse fell. Or you gift a sub. If you subscribe or you gift, one of the cool things that happens, sorry, I'm moving the table there as I try to get the battery from my mouse here that fell. When you gift a sub, when you subscribe, when you cheer for more than 300 bits, what you are doing is you're gifting people access to some holiday emotes, which is cool. I got 2 of those tonight because Harold renewed his subscription, and then Harold cheered 300 bits. So that was rad of Harold. Yeah, so now I got some cool emotes, and you can get cool. There you go. I got my mouse. My mouse is working, y'all. It is working. We'll get back to building in just a moment. I got a Discord. Join my Discord. What are you doing? Join my Discord. Buy my book. It's nice. It's fun. Pleasant conversations. I post photos of my builds. 2 quick links. Pat Baer's Anime Club. Talked about it. This is the one that came out on Monday. It was the one about isekais. A history of isekais. Spoiler alert. It's just Japanese manga creators being inspired by Western mythology and fairy tales, I should say. Isekais are just manga interpretations of Alice in Wonderland. And then eventually, what if dudes were the focus instead of ladies? And then what if it was also harem? Because it just became wish fulfillment anime. But its start is kind of cool. And then a new background of characters I put out today. This one's very silly. I tried for a voice, and it's short because I was afraid I was going to lose that voice. But I thought it turned out A-okay. That's background of characters. It's all be in the show description on the YouTube channel. And then I got to talk about some anime. I'm going to talk about anime. Right here. It's anime time. I'm going to get situated here. I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to get ready to go. Okay. First things first, yesterday, the first OAD, original animation, digital, or DVD, is Stargate and Isekai. Ultron. Stargate and the anime that is similar to it, Gate, is a tough one. Because generally, so in the broader sense, yes, it's going to a different world, right? It is being sent, being summoned, or accidentally, or making the choice to go to a different world. Traditionally, modern isekai says that your abilities on this world or your knowledge of this world unlock potential that you have in another world to be incredible. Or Atlantis or whatever. You have the potential to be unbelievable because you went from one world to another. The Stargate stuff doesn't really have that. Lord Crashington, Wizard of Oz is an isekai, yes. Oz. Dorothy Goes to Oz. That is definitely an isekai. And that is also a traditional isekai. Alice in Wonderland, traditional isekai. Now, people are trying to tell me that Dr. Stone is an isekai because of the being frozen in time, waking up in a post-apocalyptic primitive society and using the knowledge you had of your society in that. I don't buy that. I do not buy that at all. I do not buy that it's an isekai. It's a shonen. Shonen and isekai can be the same thing, but to me, that's a shonen show. That is not an isekai. Also, modern isekai, generally, things don't go wrong, and people don't have problems, and it's usually the dude just does pretty great and doesn't really worry. There are ones that don't do that, but for the most part, a lot of them do that. Isekai, they're a whole thing. Speaking of isekai, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Now, back in the day, you had an anime. You had a manga, right? This manga is super popular. This thing is rad. Let's make a TV show based on this thing. And then, that TV show did great. Hey, we want to sell VHS tapes. Or later, we want to sell DVDs, but the numbering is wrong. Based on that, we got this extra space. Let's do an original video, an OVA. Or, hey, I've got an idea for a show that it's not based on a manga. It's an original creation. Well, we're not going to order a television show, but we'll pay for you to make 6 episodes of an OVA. And then if we like it, we'll do a TV show. Something like Tenchi Muyo. The original Tenchi Muyo is an OVA, original video animation, that then became a television series. The second version of Tenchi Muyo. Sword Skill, or Shadow Skill, is an OVA that became that. Sometimes anime TV shows have OVAs, and sometimes they're very good, but often they are called OADs. They are Blu-ray only. If you get the Blu-rays of Laid Back Camp, a couple of them are like really short, like 2-minute things. One's like a 12-minute episode. None of them are as good as the show. Occasionally they are. The OVA that happens between the 2 seasons of New Game, very good. The OVA for Dragon Maid is also quite good. It feels like an episode of the show. That's the goal. Sometimes it doesn't end up that way. It's a bummer, but sometimes it just doesn't end up that way, and you end up with something that is, because it is on the Blu-ray, it can be a little more adult. It can be a little more fan servicey, because if you like the show enough to buy the Blu-ray, hey, thanks for buying the Blu-ray. Here's some TNA. So, originally, there were going to be 2 OADs for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. One was going to be on the Blu-ray. One was going to be with a manga collection. So the first one got delayed. Just got delayed. and later was going to be packaged separately. So the second one came out first, which doesn't make any sense. The second one is a beach episode. It takes place at a lake, but it's a beach episode. It is not great. Last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, the first OAD, which is the second one released, which is confusing and annoying, came out. And it literally had the word butts in the title. And so I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good. And for the most part, it's pretty okay. If you don't remember that time I got reincarnated as a slime, it is a great isekai. It is part of the tradition of isekai, the new modern take on isekai, the modern take. So the old traditional take was, girls travel to another world, romance happens, it's interesting, or whatever. The new modern take of isekai is, which is now the new traditional take of isekai, is a boy plays a video game, or is trapped in a video game, or is trapped in a world based on the video game he played, or he gets summoned to another world to be a hero. He has a harem. It's a whole thing. The new modern is, well, we can't just keep doing that, so something weird has to happen. Perhaps he is aware of the fact that what isekai are. Or maybe he got reincarnated as a slime. As in the case of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. He's kind of an older guy. He's not a teen or young teen. So he's a little older, which is interesting. Jumanji likes. Yeah, all right. But it is the take on it, right? So that's kind of the new modern take. Like, of all the isekai right now, we've got the ones that came out this season. One is a throwback, in that there's a female lead, and it's also still a comedy. And the other ones are parodies. I'll talk about another one of those today. And then one of them is, the one I'll watch tomorrow, is just a straight up thing from the show. There's nothing different about it. High School Prodigies, the only thing different about High School Prodigies is that it's a group isekai. That's the only thing that sets it apart. Other than that, it's just an isekai. So, Slime is one of the better ones, but this one is tough. Now, they do a smart thing. They make the whole thing a dream that Rimuru has, the slime. Making it a dream allows it to be nonsense. So that's good. And then it says, oh, hey, there's actually not a lot of entertainment in this village that I'm building. I want to add some non-violent, or somewhat violent, but I want to add some sort of sport to the country. So he comes up with sumo. And that's kind of a fun idea. You see like the different races interacting with each other, and it's like, oh, are these ogres and the orcs how they're gonna fight each other, and the dragon race, that's kind of fun. They're gonna do a men's division and a women's division. The men's division is that the winner can use the princess of the Kinji as a lap pillow, which means that her brother is not letting anyone else win, so that's kind of funny. The women are, of course, a day with the main character, because even though it is an isekai that doesn't really deal too much with the harem aspect, everybody still likes that slime and wants to date that slime, because it's still an isekai. It is what it is. So I almost was ready to say, like, there was some revealing clothing things and there were some things that weren't great, but I was almost ready to say it accidentally was an okay episode for an OAD and better than the other one. And then they broke the ring the ladies were fighting in. And so they had to fight. And remember, even in the context of this is within a dream and nonsense. They had to butt sumo, where they just hit each other with their butts. And that's when I was like, oh, fuck. I cannot recommend this OAD. Now I can say, oh, that time I got reincarnated as slime. It probably shouldn't have been 24 episodes. It probably should have just been 18. It kind of meanders in towards the end of it. And then also, both of the OADs are bad, and you shouldn't watch them. Now, were there a couple of funny things about it? Yes. There was a funny moment where that became the popular sport. Not regular sumo, but butt sumo became the popular sport because there are wolf creatures. There are creatures in that land that don't have hands, so they couldn't do regular sumo. But they can participate in that sumo. And so, like, that was the thing that they were like, people were psyched about it. But sumo is a good idea. I mean, it's handled crassly, and it's not. That show is better than that part of the episode. There wasn't one other very fun thing, which was like the ring broke, and he was like, well, we could have them fight in the men's ring because that's over. And then they look over the men's ring, and all of the little kids are all trying to wrestle at sumo at the same time, one of the big giant guys. And it's adorable and great. And he's like, oh, well, I can't stop that. And I think that was cute. And so there are a couple of moments in it that are fun. But for the most part, it's a bummer of an episode. And here's the thing. When you like a show, and then you're like, oh, there's an OAV, or there's an OAD, or did you know that they made this? Like, it's supposed to just be more of the thing you like. And it's not, like, it's not a second season. Like, I'm not expecting great things from it, but I am expecting to not dislike it. And I don't think either of the OADs for That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime are good. And that is a bummer. Like I said, I think there's a couple moments that are kind of fun. There is a moment where the Demon Lord is not allowed to use her hands. So she wraps. It looks like she's going to get thrown out of the ring, so she wraps her hair around, and she's just using all of her abs and muscles to allow herself to stay in the ring. And that's, like, kind of fun. Oops. I'm trying to I don't know why these aren't lining up right, but I'm having issues aligning this up. But overall, it is not great. And that is a shame. Because, as I said, I don't know, because That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime is an odd thing in that it was last season and or it was a two-parter, so it was like last year and this year. So it is still one of my favorite shows of the year, even though it started in 2018. But it is mostly just like kind of a bummer. Second thing I want to talk about is Black Clover. Now, was that a bummer? Fuck no, it wasn't a bummer. This episode ruled. Things were getting a little scary, a little dicey out there, but people stepped up and were great. Because we were in the world of illusions, we had a character, like, they basically, like, hallucinated a character into existence who seemed really fun, and that was cool. Charmy was great. Everybody was doing great at doing their thing. Henry was going to try to sacrifice himself. He was gonna lose his life. Because he was thinking about, like, well, he was going to save Asta, and he was going to save everybody, and he was going to, like, make things right. And he was going to, do whatever he could. But he didn't. Everybody palled together. And Gray and, who else was that? Gordon. Everybody stepped the fuck up and was great. I think the tagline for that show, if I was going to write a tagline for Black Clover, it would be "Teamwork makes the dream work," because that show is all about the power of teamwork and people, like, making it happen and doing their thing. They got Gotch back, who was just like, I don't know why you tried so hard. You know I don't care about you. And we're like, yeah, we know. Uh, which, yeah, he still sucks. There's a lovely moment where all of the Black Bulls, except for Yami, who's in another dimension, are like powing around. And Noelle, who's not part of the powing around, feels left out, so she falls off of her broom so she can like land in the pile and be with them. And it's just like, this was an accident. I didn't mean to be here. And it's like, yeah. You wanted to be there. You were so psyched about being a part of the fun times that you fell out of the sky so that you could be part of it. Lots of good little moments. It's going to get sad again. They really teased us with moments of like, I don't know about this one. How's this going to work? They did really like give me some moments where I thought like, oh no, is Henry going to die? He's like the newest character to be introduced as a Black Bull, but he's already one of the best characters in the show. And it's so great. Yeah, I got a little worried there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning here. I apologize for the yawns. Emotional day. But yeah, it was great. It was real good. Black Clover rules. I understand. I get it. You're not watching it. I get that. It's okay. I think it's rad as heck. And I'm happy to talk about it on my stream. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, After School Dice Club. As I said, this is the Christmas episode. This was a two-parter, but was kind of like not really a two-parter because stuff that happened in the first half played in the second one. The first half was some drama. It was Aya, who is the character that has the least going on. She is the her moving to town and becoming friends with Maki is the driving force with them, like the show, really. She is the one that kind of put the pieces together and made these friendships happen. So she's very important to the show, but it's kind of taken a backseat to like Maki and some of the other storylines in the show. And you know, especially with the introduction of the fourth character, it's kind of had a little less. So this episode was about her and her dad. We learned that she is from, her family is divorced. She is the younger sister. Her older sister raises her because her dad is a world-famous animal photographer and travels all over the world. And he comes back, and she's like, oh, we're going to have this Christmas party. You're going to meet my new friends, these people that I care so much about, like what is kind of my world right now. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. And they play a game, and they argue, and they maybe get some sort of resolution. It's not really a great resolution, but it's a pretty honest one. And it's a good part of the episode. The second half is the Christmas party that we heard so much about. That's happening. It's Christmas party time. And it's time for a very weird board game. Most of the time they play games that I'm like, oh, that sounds neat. I'm going to play that real game. Or I'm going to learn more about that game. Or if there's a variation of it. This one was called Ladies and Gentlemen. And half of the game is like an action game of like getting money and you're the gentleman. And the other half is like putting together cards to build an outfit. And then the person that made the money needs to spend the money because you need to get the best outfit by the end. You get points based on the outfit you're making. And it's very heteronormative. And in the game, one of the girls plays a guy and it turns out to be very good at it. And it's like two of the couples are paralleled by a guy we know likes Aya and a guy who's very like wasn't sure about games and is kind of learning. Well, he definitely likes Maki, and this is cute. Now, I've said this. I don't want to care about boyfriends. I don't want to care about dating. I don't want to care about that. I want to care about this club playing games together and growing as people, and their friendship growing. And especially when we added a fourth character, and it was like, okay, well, now we got a crew. This was still a good episode, even if the game was one of the weirder games. It's not my favorite episode by any stretch of the imagination. And like I said, but it's still like a good episode to show the characters and show the growth. And just the idea that Maki is playing a game with someone she doesn't know super well and is being competitive and like, I don't know. It was nice. It was like, I don't know if she's ever like had fun at a Christmas party before. So I was happy for the character. So it was an alright episode. Also, it's nice to have a Christmas episode around Christmas because shows often have Christmas episodes in like whenever their 10th episode of the show is, and not necessarily at Christmas. So it's kind of nice having one in December. That was kind of good. And then the last episode, so I didn't watch Kimono Michi. I'll watch that for tomorrow because I needed things to talk about tomorrow anyway. And also, I don't really like that show, but I'm still watching it, so I was like, okay, I'll just hang out on it. Oh, I need to do this first. Sorry. So the fourth show that I'll talk about tonight is the Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. Cautious Hero. The shtick isn't working for me anymore. Him being like calculated and cautious, like I know it seems like they're building to something, and that something could be interesting what they're building to. Right now, I for the most part am kind of done with the sick of the show. It's not really doing it for me. I think there are some clever elements to it, but for the most part, yeah, like, so the idea of doing an isekai where the main character is like kind of worried about what's happening and is gonna be good at the job, but like is overly cautious, like uses a tier 10 fire spell to kill a level 1 slime. Like, okay, that's kind of an interesting idea. But he's also like, he's an asshole and like is just mean. And I don't need that. I don't need that in my anime. Especially, like, it's kind of interesting in an isekai because the genre is usually like, things are going great. Our main person is overpowered but nice. Like, maybe sometimes they're a little mean, but most of the time they're pretty chill and cool. So to have one where it's like, this guy sucks. I don't know. But for the most part, he's just kind of an asshole, and I don't necessarily need that. I don't care if he like actually cares and he's like, his cautious behavior is still going to win the day. Like, he's a jerk. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not loving Cautious Hero. And maybe that's why I didn't watch Kimono Michi today, because like I need a couple things to talk about tomorrow. Like, I'll talk about High School Prodigies tomorrow. We'll talk about I'll watch Kimono Michi probably tonight, so I can talk about it tomorrow. And then I'll like, I don't know. I'm going to watch at least one thing that has been out this season that I haven't watched. I'm going to try to watch a couple episodes of something to talk, so I'll have something to talk about, like a show that I haven't really experienced. I think it's going to be Welcome to Demon School, which seems like it could be fun. That seems like it could be a fun show. It is a comedy show about a young boy who gets his parents sell him to a demon, and he apparently gets sold to a very strong demon, and he has to go to school, and they can't find out he's a human because they will eat him. And then one of the other jokes of the show to like make it work is that if he gets asked for a favor and someone says please, he has to say yes. It's in his nature to say yes, which I guess means that that is how he gets stuck in situations, is that he can't, situations that he would probably say no to protect himself, he then has to be in. It's a comedy. So I'm probably going to watch that tomorrow or tonight, watch a couple episodes of that, just to have something to talk about. I think that was the plan. But yeah, I haven't been super like, Kimono Michi is such a bummer because I've talked about this, a bit of a broken record. The premise is so goddamn good. Guy gets summoned to a fantasy world, but he doesn't want to fight like monsters, demon beasts. He wants to protect them. He wants to open up a pet shop, and he's a wrestler. And the wrestling stuff has been fun, but it's just like, I don't know. That show should be my favorite show of the season, and it is not my favorite show of the season, and that is a little heartbreaking that that's not like the best show go out there, because it 100% should be. I should be so excited about that show, and I am very much not. Such a bummer. Oh well. They can't all be winners. I mean, even said, like, I think I said this on Monday, that this past week's episode of Didn't I Say to Make Billy's Average wasn't the best episode of the season. It wasn't like my favorite of it, but it's still light years better than anything else go out there as far as this guy go. Having a little trouble getting this to pop on here. Running into some issues. Not quite sure what's going on. Give it a little time to figure this out here. Give me a moment. Okay, so I think I gotta pop this down here. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily a strong show, but that's still a good show. It's still like I would say, yeah, I mean, certainly, Didn't I Say to Make Billy's Average is my favorite isekai this season outside of, by far outside of, that time I got reincarnated as slime, which is still that good, even if it didn't, even if the OADs aren't good. Oh, shit. Yeah. So this RE100 was like, for the most part, has been a very simple, straightforward kit. It's just at the end here, the close, it has been a little frustrating because we still have to do some fine tuning here. So this goes like this. That is another video that I guess I, at some point, need to make. Don't I? At some point I have to make my, like my favorite anime of the year or something, like Pat Bear's Anime Club Anime Awards. I probably should do that, huh? That's a video I could do. Let's see if I did one on because I got to do 3 this month anyway. I got to do something that goes out on the 30th. I'll do that. That's a great easy one to do. Pat Bear's Anime Awards. I'll just do my own anime award thing. Heck yeah. Content being decided live on stream. That'll be a good video for me to put together. Yeah, this thing doesn't want to pop on. Content, right, Lord Crasherton? Indeed. Alright, let me open this up some. Maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah, I'm really struggling to get this front of the skirt on. This kit has been, oh, there we go. Okay. This kit was really easy. For some reason, these last few steps were really frustrating, and that sucks because you want things to just go together well. But all right, now we need to put on top here, tops and bottoms. Great. We are figure complete here. We are body complete. It is time now for our accessories, our weapons, and we'll get that going. Heck yeah. Let's start with the Heat Hawk, the Burning Tomahawk. Put that together. All right. We'll put these weapons together, and then we will decide if we're going to have them, what he's going to be holding and what he's going to have. I think we'll probably just hold the gun. I think that's got the trigger finger there anyway. All right, and then E1. Okay. But yeah, I think end of the year, that would be good. So if the next episode is about Christmas stuff, then I'll do the end of the year video, or like my favorite of the year. That could be good. I know that'll be good. Alright, yeah. As I said, my next build stream will be tomorrow. Please come tomorrow night and watch finally a return to the Thursday night streams. Excited to have a Thursday night stream for you. I will be if I still have stuff left on this, I don't think I will. I think we're going to finish this up tonight. But if we do have time, if I do have to continue this, we'll finish this up, do whatever we need to on that, and then we will start working on the Ox Kings thing, which will be easy. And then when that's done, it'll be time to start working on the Death Scythe Hell custom from Endless Waltz. That's right. One of my goals was to build all those again. I'm going to build the Death Scythe Master Grade, the Death Scythe Hell Custom Master Grade, and the Death Scythe Hell High Grade. Because there isn't a Master Grade of that. So I got to do it in High Grade. But it was a thing that I've been wanting to do. I'm a better model kit builder than I used to be when I started this project. So it's time to get back to doing what I know I'm good at, which is building Death Scythes. So I'm excited to work on that. Because I think it'll be a good time. I love the Death Scythe. It is my favorite. I think I like the Death Scythe more than Hell Custom. The Hell Custom wings are really cool, and I'll always love them. But there's something about the original Death Scythe because it is, like, it is my first love. It is my first favorite kit that I just always been partial to it. So I really want to build one, so I'm excited to work on it. Okay, so we've got this is gonna pop into here. This is like ammo. That's gonna pop into the ammo holder here. So just pop that into there. It's pretty neat. So it was in there. We got our hand grenades. We got to build our hand grenades. Now, we're going to build these, and I guess, he can hold them, but instead we'll build them and then just have them as accessories. But yeah, I'm really excited to work on the Death Scythe. I mean, y'all know how much I love that kit and putting that together, so I'm very excited about working on that. And also, yeah, the Ox King thing. Like, it'll be a good portion of the stream tomorrow will be that. I mean, those are quick builds, but I still have to put them together, so let's take a little time. All right, what am I doing wrong here? Okay. There we go. So these are our hand grenades here. We'll put those together. But yeah, hey, we got a little time left tonight. If there's anything you want to chat about, anything going on with you that you're like, hey, I want to talk about this. Like, now's a great time to let me know what's going on with you. If there's something that you want to chit chat with me about, feel free to let me know in the comments. In the chat, I should say, not the comments. But yeah, let me know if there's something you want to chat about. More than always willing to hear what's going on with everybody. If there's something going on. Obviously, chat's been light tonight, and that's okay. I'm totally okay with that. It happens, and that's okay. I'm never going to be mad about that. Sometimes it's just a chill stream, and that's okay. But I am like, I'm all right. I was wondering towards the end of the stream if my mouth is going to start hurting from surgery stuff, and it's not feeling. I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm all right. I'm doing okay. Sorry. So we'll put this on here. All right. Let's put that there. This is done. I'm at the point in the holiday where I'm waiting for gifts I ordered to arrive. Yes. Yeah, I totally feel that, Ultron. Yeah, where you're just like, oh, it would be nice if like I could get these things in the mail. I'm waiting on a hoodie for my dad that I would love to arrive so that I could give it to him. That has not happened yet. So we got our grenade holder here. We're putting some stuff on there. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood movie was pretty great. Might go see Knives Out. Yeah, Lord Crushing, I heard very good things about Knives Out. Also, a old friend of mine's husband, who I've never met because we didn't keep super close in touch, but she got married to a gentleman who's an actor, and he's in it. And so that's cool. It's like his big breakout. He's a supporting cast member. Yeah, I've heard good things about Knives Out, so I would not be against seeing it. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to, but with weekends being pretty busy for me, so yeah. Yeah, I ordered one thing for my mom that's actually going to go to my parents' house because it was just easier. But it's to my name, so they know not to open it. And then I need something else to show up. And then I'm doing a Secret Santa next Saturday. Next Saturday I'll be at a party. So I'm streaming next Saturday. I'm streaming in the afternoon, not in the evening, because I'm going to a party. So I was like, oh, well, huh. I don't know what I'm gonna get for this. It's not a Secret Santa. It's a gift swap thing that I do every year. But then I realized, oh, well, I have a really cool gift that a thing I could pay forward that I think people at this event would really like, and that would be cool if I did that. So I'm going to do that because that's going to go over real good. So sometimes you're like, oh wait, I don't know what I'm going to get. A couple years ago, I just got something at PAX Unplugged for it, and then this year it just worked out that I have a good gift that I can just use and that people will really like. So I win. Very happy about that. But yeah, I'm like just very busy and trying to get things that I want to get done so that I can worry about other things. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Just trying to get a bunch of things done. Because I'm also like, end of this month, I'll be going to see my folks. So I have to like get a lot of stuff done before I go there, including video stuff. Like I said, I'm going to film my... I filmed a bunch of things, but I have to film a few other things because I can always shoot them on my laptop, but then I don't have a. I'm not gonna bring my green screen to South Carolina, so like anything I want to do um, there has to get done here. Any video stuff that involves green screen or whatever, I have to do before I go, or when I get back. And I get back. I leave on Sunday the 22nd, and I come back on Saturday the 28th. So it's like, well, am I going to film on the 29th? I'm going to have a green screen up and film for the 30th? No, I'm going to film that before I go. So I want to make sure I have time to do all that stuff. Just a lot going on, right? Just got a lot going on. I'm a busy guy, is what I'm trying to say, y'all. I'm a busy person with things to do and places to be. And I need you to recognize that. Got a lot going on. Not really. I'm just sometimes make poor choices when it comes to what I put my energy into. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I make great choices about what I put my energy into. And I pick really good things. And I make very smart decisions. But sometimes I just pick nonsense. And I'm like, here's the thing I'm going to be really into. Now here's two items. Did I miss these? Oh, I did miss this. I just realized I did miss something. When I made the axe, I did. I was like, what are these things? Why don't I have these? I did miss a piece of the axe. So now I can do it now. There we go. Looks cool. Alright, I'm going to put the gun in its hand because I think that looks cooler sometimes. Do that. And then this kit does allow you to put the blade or the axe on the back, but we won't do that for photos because we gotta have it look cool. All right. And that's gonna do it. That's our kit. We finished it. I knew we'd finish it today. I was wondering when in the stream it was gonna happen, but there we go. This is the Zaku 2 FZ. This is a great looking kit. It's got some cool weapons to it. I'm gonna do the photos on. I think let's do it like this. But yeah. This was a fun art, real great. I had a couple moments where I was like, what do they want me to do here? That was a little confusing. But overall, this is a solid kit. Happy to have completed it. And then, yeah, we've got the little, the Ox King car, which will start tomorrow. Because the next stream is tomorrow. Can you believe it? I'm doing a Thursday night stream after I do a Wednesday night stream. I'm doing two build streams in a row, back to back. Yes, believe it, because I am busy on Friday. So I was thinking about doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I am busy Friday night and did not want to do and work. I'm busy Friday afternoon too. I am just very busy on Friday. Is that a mistake the day before I got to go do a bunch of stuff? Yeah, it is. Still happening though. But I want to thank you very much for being here. This is the Build with Baer workshop. This kit rules. I'm going to take a photo of it. I'm going to put that photo on the internet. I want to thank you very much for being here. A reminder, next stream is tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. Please come back, watch that. Tell your friends. We had a little bit of a light attendance tonight. I'd love it to be a little bigger tomorrow as we do this Ox King kit, which I think is going to be fun. And as we start a Death Scythe. We're starting a Death Scythe again. What is this, 2017? Huh? Anyway, I'm going to run an ad. Watch it or don't. That's okay if you don't want to watch the 6-second ad. It makes me a little bit of money. Subscribe if you'd like to. Tell a friend. Follow and turn your notifications on. Have a great one. Bye bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.